Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of an eBay deep dive this morning. Something different. Few days ago, I did my pocket change market report for the week, and I had made a promise to a lot of you that we were going to do the anti pocket change market report, and that's kind of like the bottom 20 coins that sold on eBay here in the last 24 to 36 hours. So here we are. We're in October 17th, actually. First thing in the morning, and as you can see, we are on eBay, completed sales. Okay, you guys can do this on your own as well. And you'll go into coins and paper money, and generally I'll stay in the coins US section of the sales part of what is sold, and I'll just go ahead and type in error, and then it'll draft all of the listings that have sold in the last 90 days, starting with the most recent. As you can see, 21,594 total unique listings that have sold with the word error in it under the coins and paper money subtype here. All right. So it's real simple. We're going to go ahead and focus in on some of the most widely, I guess, encountered coins that some may think is an error, but really isn't. And so that way you guys know exactly the difference between one and the other. Okay, the Pocket Change Market Report is a very genuine article that I do once a week. I like to try and do it once a week. That highlights all of the legitimate errors and varieties. Okay, your double dies, your RPMs, things like that. So I figure it's only fair that every once in a while we throw in a video showing kind of like the bottom of the barrel type stuff that is not anything at all. I guess we could start out with this 1943 Lincoln steel cent wheat penny. It says double date error. Okay, first and foremost, nowhere in the annals of U.S. coin varieties is double date a thing. Okay, double date is nothing when it comes to U.S. coin collecting. It's a misnomer. It's either a doubled die or an RPM. You would have to go into much older coinage of like the late 1800s, early 1900s to have things like repunch dates or misplaced dates, because those actual design devices on the coin were stamped independently among all the other design elements on the coin. All right, so let's just be absolutely clear. Things like this 1943 penny where it says double date, that you could almost automatically assume that is nothing. Now, the coin might be in really good shape, and there are certain things about the coin that, some would say, the less educated, I guess, but that's why we do the videos, to educate kind of like the newer crowd of folks coming into the hobby. But as you can see, there's kind of a couple little halo doodads here. This one is simply just die deterioration, okay, and that's common on these coins. All the way up to the current age of U.S. coin production. As the dies wear out from producing too many of these coins, they will show as having like a doubling appearance. Now keep in mind, this is all die deterioration. Sometimes they'll show up as kind of like a shelf-like type doubling. You can kind of see that a little bit on the floor right here. But this one right here is just a 1943 Lincoln steel cent with a little bit of die deterioration. It's neither an error or a variety, okay? And generally doesn't have a whole lot of value, okay? Depending on how radical the die deterioration looks, it might command a little bit of a premium on the secondary market, but I just want you guys to be aware of this phenomenon. Double date is not a correct terminology in numismatics for errors or varieties, all right? Just so we're clear. All right, so we have, a Utah State Quarter. It's a 2007. Looks like it's been cleaned. You can see the hairlines. It's sold for $809. This one sounds like it's just, I mean, you have a seller with only 7 feedback. I mean, this is a common practice where you either have a buddy that also has an eBay account that actually made a bid on this to artificially increase or tamper with the market for such coins. But the way that this is described is it's a U.S. coins, mint errors, Utah State Quarter, LG, large cut on train, which I don't see. Wheel left side, second one. Okay. Wheel left side, second one. I'm not seeing any cut on there. As a matter of fact, man, someone took a sponge or Brillo pad to this thing. Now, if they're referring to that line that goes through the wheels, that is part of the drive mechanism for older trains. So that is an epic fail right there. But this coin is not worth $809. As a matter of fact, it's probably worth enough to buy a gumball. But aside from that, yeah, this thing is hot garbage fire. Yeah. Do not be suckered in for these type of listings where it's got an abnormally high starting price, and then you always have one bid. Okay, that you're asking for trouble there. There is nothing special about these type of coins. Oh, that's pretty nice. Die Clash for $82. That's really good for a 67. Let's see. 1995 BP 295 error $1 Federal Reserve Note District Chicago Run 14 Mule. Okay, the way that this has been typed up seems very dyslexic to me. I'm not calling the person that actually listed this dyslexic at all, but that if you were going to make any huge mistakes, it would be in the titling of your listings. Okay, this right here is all over the place. It doesn't really say anything. Like, what kind of error are we looking at? First of all, if it was a mule error, and for 95, there are no mules. So I can tell you that right now. But if there was an error, you need to cleanly specify what that error is in the title. If it's a gutter fold error, if it's an insufficient ink error, if it's an obstruction error, make sure you put stuff like that in your title. Okay, because if you don't, you're really going to keep it. The more vague you are, the less likely that you're going to sell your coin or piece of currency on eBay, or anywhere for that matter. You have to be absolutely clear. So here's another coin here. Again, probably from the same seller. You can see die deterioration. Very well evident on this coin. And he used that double date pseudonym in there, which is bogus. Again, there's no such thing as a double date in numismatic speak. This is just die deterioration, machine doubling. And then, we're going to stay away from stuff that's kind of like marginal. This one says it's a 1928 $1 silver certificate funny back. Blue seal off center. I mean, it's probably within the BEP tolerances for the inking and the cutting. So it can't be that bad. I mean, you probably have very narrow margins at the bottom of the note, which is normal. Okay, this one is not normal. It's got an inverted third print, which is crazy looking. That's a good looking note. Okay. Yeah, there are newer dollar coins, the golden dollars, that have either missing edge lettering or slightly or missing at all. So they either be weak or missing. All right, so that's normal. Okay, $340 for a double clipped planchet. Now the only crime that I see here is it's priced way too high. And again, with one bid on the sheet, that sounds like price fixing. There's not a double clip planchet in the world that's worth $340. Sorry, that's a 64D Jefferson nickel as well. The picture is very small. It's a bad listing. Okay, got a couple spitting horses. This is a very generic title here, 1942 Mercury dime, which really doesn't say a whole lot about the coin. It did sell for $2 1/4, which is silver value. Yeah, you'll see all the bad listings sprinkled in here. Pretty easy to notice, but this one right here, it says machine doubling a date. I mean, you can't get any more transparent than that, so that's a solid listing. A lot of realistic errors in here. You got some insufficient inking errors, which do exist out there. Ooh, that one's cool. Struck on a 10-cent planchet. Okay, this one clearly states shelf doubling error, which that's fine. I mean, if you're listing a coin knowing full well that it has like shelf doubling or die deterioration, there's nothing wrong with selling coins like that. Me personally, it's not my thing, only because I don't want to. I mean, look at it. You're asking $7.50 for shipping. Okay, that's the crime in itself for something like this. Especially if you're going to send the coin out in either a plain white envelope or a bubble mailer that costs about $2.85. $7.50 is just way too much, and it's a overcompensation for the low selling price of a coin. But keep in mind, eBay charges a fee also on the shipping. All right, so there's no kind of like skirting system there. All right. Everything's looking good and clean this morning. Yeah, these type of listings are very funny because it's again there might be a minor error, but again that's something that if you wanted to waste precious time listing a whole bunch of coins that are worth about $3 on there, I mean that's not on me. That's for sure. It's whatever you want to do. Okay, so we got a 1962 Roosevelt dime, 90% silver, double die. Now we got to keep in mind there's an extra D at the end of double, so it's doubled die. Double die in numismatic sense doesn't make any sense at all. So it's a doubled die, but is this really a doubled die reverse error? Let's go ahead and find out. And at the very least, this individual has some really nice close-up pictures, but just looking at the E in 1 cent, okay, you have that shelf-like doubling, which indicates that this one has some mechanical doubling. You can even see it on the bottom part of this olive sprig here, the left side of the O in 1, and then so on and so forth. So you can see some machine doubling in certain areas, like right here. The bottom right of the E is a very telling spot. So, nice try, but that's machine doubling there for you. All right, so I'm very interested in knowing more about this 2000D New Hampshire error quarter that sold for $136. But it looks like the listing was pulled. So it sold and it was deleted. So I think someone reported this listing as being an illegitimate error. Okay, but yeah, $136 for something that looks like it's been damaged. You can tell by the rest of the coin that it's undergone quite a harsh life. Ooh, that one's cool. Full reverse brockage. A lot of neat coins. Okay, so this one, I keep saying that bicentennial Washington quarters that exhibit legitimate errors are white hot right now. And again, right here, we had a listing that was pulled. I kind of had a funny feeling because the picture is lousy. And it sold for an undisclosed amount of money because the best offer was accepted. You see that line crossing the $50 there. So we'll go ahead to the next one. Three-digit mismatch. Whoa, that's cool. We have a lot of cool currency pieces on here this week. I'll probably end up passing by a few of them. A lot of good stuff, though, this morning. Okay, so we have a couple of coins right here. Looks like from the same seller. Now, we have a 2014 D, America the Beautiful, Colorado, that is being sold as missing a clad layer error. And I could tell just right away, based off of the outer appearance of the coin and the pitting, that this one was previously either dug out of the ground or has been sitting in some sort of chemical cleaner at one point, that to where it has, yeah, take a look at that. Yep. Yeah, this one was subjected to some sort of chemical reaction, which could only be caused by what this coin looks like. This one right here is pure straight up damaged. It has never been subjected to a legitimate U.S. Mint error. It is not missing a clad layer, because even if it was, you wouldn't have this same deal on the reverse. That is just so sporadic, kind of like a target bullseye appearance to it. Yeah, this one was in some sort of chemical cleaner. And I could probably say the same about the nickel that's underneath that too. This is actually a very common question that I get. Now keep in mind, between both listings, it's like 30 bucks. And when you come across stuff like this, I mean, you know, I want to say that there's not nearly enough education out there. Even though there's quite a few channels out there dedicated to this sort of thing, I feel like that there's a lot of people that haven't quite paid enough attention to stuff like this. Now, just take a look at the coin. This one is a fully encompassed, chemical cleaned appearance. This one is not a missing clad layer. This one is very, very wrong. And yeah, keep an eye out for stuff like this. A dug coin right out of the ground will have a very similar appearance to this coin, but this one right here, with the appearance of the original surface, definitely has that chemical cleaned look. So I don't know what it was sitting in, but those two coins are in very bad shape, and I would venture to guess that these are going to be future returns. So we'll see. I don't know. Okay, so we have a 1967 Kennedy half dollar. It says DDO and DDR. There we go. Double die. It's missing that second D in the word doubled. Which to me, anytime I see that, it makes that particular listing legitimate. As you can see, it's got the flat shelf-like appearance of doubling. Plus, you can also see the main device shrunken down a little bit because of this. Again, this is a machine double coin right here. This is not an error or a variety. But yeah, it has I mean, it's a good looking coin. Is it worth $30.80 before tax? No, probably not. This is a $3 coin all day long. Yeah, but this one, again, there's been an emphasis on the secondary sale of machine double coins that look good. I mean, there is 22 bids on this. This was not a buy now. This was not some high starting price with one bid like we saw on a couple other listings. But this right here, you had a number of people that were very interested in this, probably because the machine doubling was a good look on it. I don't know. But yeah, that's probably something that you'll never recoup your money back, even if you did sell it. A couple off-center struck error coins. This seems a little high for a replacement note on a silver certificate. Yeah, minor misaligned die. Let's see. this one right here. I can't read the picture. I feel like it's not too good to determine if that is a true doubled die. Usually with 72, if you know it's a double die, people will actually put the catalog listing, the attribution number, like in FS 101, FS 107, 108, and that's just bad kind of like research on their part. You got more of these spitting horses. No, they are not worth $250. These are a little bit of a die crack that goes through Caesar Rodney and into the horse's mouth. It's just perfectly placed. And these typically have a very dedicated secondary market for about $5 to $10. $10 being the much higher graded coins. Here's another 67 Kennedy with a double die. Dubba, with no extra D at the end of doubled. Let's see, it's sold for about $9.30. And this one you can just tell looking at the thumbnail has die deterioration or mechanical doubling. Okay, so we have an interesting set of coins here for $690. 1922 no D. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, it's a very interesting mix. I'll be honest, all the coins look clean, which stinks. Which stinks very bad. Whoever cleaned these ruined them, robbed them of any additional value. I would say just about every single coin here is cleaned or tampered with exception of the one where I have my actual mouse pointer on. The middle row left coin looks relatively okay. But now that I see the front of the coin, that 1910S on the right side of this picture, yeah, that one has a weird kind of funky toning pattern that does not look original to the coin. So keep an eye out for stuff like this. While you have a 22 no D in there, I mean, it's a nice low grade, probably like a VG. With all the coins considering, this is a heck of a lot of money to invest in this type of lot when there's no guarantee that you're going to recoup your money. But if you are a collector, you're just looking for like kind of like a budget lot of some of the tougher dates, you know, this one works. As a purist collector, I would stay away from stuff like this. But I'm glad Karen or whoever sold it, and hopefully it's not going to unwind on them. So we're at 23 minutes. I figured we'd go through a few more coins. The 74D, it says that here's another missing clad layer. When just looking at the coin will exhibit, you got a low feedback seller of 8. This one is environmental damage. So it's either been pulled out of the ground as is, and the acidity of the soil will actually cause the pitting on the coin, much like this. Okay, nickel, copper, all of these various types of alloys are very susceptible to the minerals in the ground, and they'll cause the pitting and deterioration. Now, chemical cleaner will also do the same thing. It's just with this coin being dug in the ground, you also get the dark color of the coin as well. So this planchet right here was a very healthy copper nickel clad coin up until it was lost forever or nearly forever in the ground, and it was found, and there you go. All right. Yeah, $20, not worth it. This is a coin that's worth face value all day long. Again, this is a very, very common thing I come across, like in emails and stuff. People had sent me inquiries about coins that look like this. Because honestly, if you had let's say this 1974D did in fact exhibit a missing clad layer error on there, one thing you want to keep in mind, the strike would be weaker because the coin would be a little bit skinnier. Additionally, if you were missing, say, that top nickel layer of the coin, and you had exposed copper, like the copper core of the coin, as a result of that missing clad layer, you will have a coin that will exhibit a very nice reddish brown hue to it, as if it was a brand new struck penny. This one obviously has none of that. All right, so let's see if we can find one more coin to. Yeah, it's not even 20 coins, is it? Yeah, it's. I figured. Yeah, do I want to keep you guys 40 minutes? Probably not. I want you guys to go out there and hit the pavement and find more coins and bankrolls. 2012 Jefferson nickel strike through. Looks like the coin's been beat up and put away wet. Yeah, it looks very, very bad shape. But in any event, yeah, it sold for $1, which is about, well, way too much than what it's worth. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and stop it on this 1983 Washington quarter. In and T, in God we trust errors. It better be good for $404. And again, we're talking about a brand new seller. No feedback whatsoever. I mean, this is not how you jump into the game like this. No. So, you want to keep in mind when you are listing these type of coins, okay, that there's always the expectation from the seller's standpoint that there's going to be a full image of the obverse and the reverse, in addition to close-ups of the area of interest. This coin has 2 full obverse or nearly full obverse images and then 2 other reverse images, but no close-ups. There's only 4 pictures of the whole thing, while you could scan over, and the big deal is obviously going to be in the motto. This is a coin that has just been struck through a little bit of grease. But no, it's not worth $400. It's a coin that probably, if you're lucky, you'd be able to get maybe $1 or 2 from, because the struck through area is so minor. You could still read the motto, but it's so weak in the words in and TR and trust. But that's what you got. But again, you need the close-ups to help sell your coin, to help sell your story, right? You need the concrete evidence in order to make everything believable when it comes to coin sales. Because if you don't do it, this is a $400 sale that and look, this is a red flag in itself. Seller does not accept returns, but the problem is that this coin can be returned for a full refund based off of the eBay seller rules. So even a buyer, even though the seller does not accept returns, a buyer is fully covered in the event that an item is not as described. Okay, and the bigger issue is, as a seller, you're going to have to pay for the shipping to have this coin returned to you. And let's say you blew through the $400 already on whatever it is you wanted to buy. You wanted to buy a brand new Nintendo Switch, or you wanted to buy, a new full wardrobe of clothes. They're going to take this money out of your account, whether it's through PayPal or your bank account. So there you go. You don't want to risk selling something that isn't, because eBay and PayPal will come looking for you. So you got to make sure that what you're selling is legitimate in the coin market, because there is a lot of people that like to report on others when they sell less than desirable type coins that are not as described. But again, a few key takeaways: a full obverse, full reverse, best close-ups that you could do on the affected areas. Like, you could easily do a close-up of In God We Trust and then go and sell this thing at 99 cents. Starting out, you'd be surprised. You could probably get maybe $5. But no way is it worth $400. Some of the most terrible, egregious listings on here. What I also like to do on the error sold listings part is just to take a look at a few of the highest price sales, because this will blow your guys' mind. Thank you guys for hanging out, by the way. It sure was a lot of fun. Like this right here. 1970 quarter error for $10,000. Yay! Congratulations! That's enough to buy a brand new car or a previously owned one. Hey, what do you know? We have another seller with zero feedback. There is absolutely nothing shady about that. No, sir. But yeah, what's the error on this? That it wasn't used more as a screwdriver? Oh, man. And the pictures are terrible. They're terrible. Yeah, $10,000. Yeah, good luck unwinding that one. Oh, yeah, the seller doesn't accept returns. So the moment that you hit that bid button, you're an owner, I guess. Oh, yeah, 1970 quarter error shipped with. Oh, yeah, thank you for sending it USPS first class. Oh, come on, cheapskate. You don't even want to swing for a. Oh, they relisted it. Okay, let's take. Oh, yeah. Oh, darn, no bids. Okay. Man, they're going to keep riding that horse till the legs fall off. But yeah, as you can see, that's some of the craziest, dumbest listings that you could absolutely find in here. It's just insane. 4850, 1940 wheat cent, extremely rare, multiple struck, triple struck in collar. It looks like it's a relist. Yeah, that's believable because it's an annex holder. I mean, it's pretty neat looking. See the two L's in Liberty. Huh. Interesting. It is a relist, so I don't know what the deal is there. Yeah, if you're into foreign coins, be careful too. There's a lot of non-errors floating around in foreign coins. We have a 1983 Royal Arms 1 pound coin. Upside down error! I wish it were a real thing. Oh, look at that. Another seller with zero feedback. Well. Okay, so I know what the deal is here. These have edge lettering. And sometimes some of the coins will have like an A and B position on the side lettering where the letters will be right side up if you have the coin on the table with the obverse facing up. And some of them will have coins with the lettering upside down with the coin on the table with the obverse facing up. That's normal on the edge letter coins because when these things are being struck, you would keep in mind that the coins are being flip-flopped around and all that stuff. So, yeah, it's... yeah, this drives me crazy. Yeah, people list like the newer edge-lettered gold dollars in much the same fashion. I've seen many coins that people have listed for like $1,000, saying that it's a rare upside-down letter edge and all this other stuff. But yeah, I figure I would find one of these. It's not a presidential dollar coin, but it's a foreign 83 Royal Arms UK coin, I guess. There you go. We guys think, oh, that one's a relist also. If you ever want to make yourself feel better, go ahead and take a look at some of these egregious... Okay, I figured it was only a matter of time before we came across a very dumb sack dollar error. So, golden dollar SP on baby's forehead. Double die, which is completely spelled wrong, minting error. It doesn't have to be a double die, it could be a drop letter. $2,500. Let's see what 2,500 gets you. I mean, I do see something on the baby's forehead and the little papoose. But again, where's my close-ups? I need some close-ups of that. I mean, this one did sell for $2,500, and it's not a relist. Very low feedback, 64. Seller doesn't accept returns. So you have like 7 or 8 full obverse photos, but no close-ups of the anomaly in question, which makes this a very, very bad listing. Because what can happen, there is something called Pareidolia, which is an anomaly in which you see like a number or a letter or a feature of a coin that is stamped somewhere else, or has the appearance of having a letter or a number, just kind of in the toning or something, and it throws a lot of people off. It's something that shows up, and your mind and your eyes play tricks on you, but it's really not anything. It's like pulling out what is it? A carrot, and it looks like the Virgin Mary. I'm like, well, to you it looks like the Virgin Mary, but it's Pareidolia. It doesn't look like anything. As a matter of fact, it looks like a witch's finger, if anything. But that's what we see here. More than likely, this coin took a hit, and it was just the right type of hit on the baby's forehead from another coin that produced Pareidolia on this coin. So, yeah. Anyways, that's going to do it. I figure I'd drive you guys nuts long enough with all of these crazy, terrible listings that you guys know that you need to avoid either buying stuff like this or even indulging in the fact of selling stuff like this. Would love to hear your thoughts. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. I want to thank you guys for this weekend. I'll see you guys tomorrow night or maybe Monday morning for the Monday market report. Yeah, it sure was a lot of fun. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Hit that good old bell for instant notifications. As always, Coinaholics, we are discovering together. You guys take care. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe and happy.